What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. Today we're going to be talking about the MNav on MicroStrategy. We're going to be looking at a couple charts and seeing where things could possibly go. It's just going to be pure speculation because we don't know what's going to happen. On the right-hand side, from blue to red, blue being oldest, red being the newest or most recent, MNav multiplier. So you can see here, it usually hugs this area pretty well when sentiment is kind of neutral. It doesn't deviate from the green line as much, but as sentiment gets very negative, you'll see it deviate further away to the downside. And then when the sentiment is extremely bullish and they're talking about infinite money glitch and all that, you'll see the MNav skyrocket deviating from this, where the MNav was at a 3.4 and it was supposed to be at a 2.2. That was the estimate. So it went up practically 50% more than what it was supposed to be at. So this model is pretty cool because you can move it based off of the price you think Bitcoin can go up to. So we'll just leave it at 200,000. As you can see, you have the estimate here because the idea is that MicroStrategy continues to accumulate Bitcoin. So the MNav estimate continues to rise. And then of course, MicroStrategy will either deviate to the upside or to the downside. But this is the idea, it's the estimate because they continue to purchase Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin they purchase, the larger the premium becomes. Something I have noticed in my analytics is that 80% of you guys are not subscribed. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing and drop a like on this video. Appreciate it. So as MicroStrategy purchases more Bitcoin, their Bitcoin yield increases as well, which pretty much means each share that you own of MicroStrategy is worth more Bitcoin every single time Michael Saylor purchases more Bitcoin. Your MSTR shares are worth more Bitcoin per share every single purchase. So they issue new shares to purchase more Bitcoin. So it's essentially dilution, but they call it accretive dilution, where it's actually increasing in value because Bitcoin, it's increasing in value in terms of Bitcoin. Because usually when other companies do this, it's considered just share dilution, which is not good. That's not what you want. But the way MicroStrategy does it, it's a little bit different. I think that's why a lot of people get a little confused about it. It's kind of counterintuitive to traditional companies. But I think what they're doing is a great thing. And in the future, it should be worth a lot. As long as Bitcoin continues to do what it's supposed to do, and the cycles continue to play out and it increases in value, then we should be okay. There's a finite amount of Bitcoin, only 21 million, and plenty of it has been lost due to lost key phrases and lost wallets and lost in transfer, and it's kind of just goes into the crypto abyss and all that stuff. I think with that being said, and there being a finite amount, it's the complete opposite of the dollar, where there's an infinite amount and you can just continue to print money and each dollar is worth less. Where here on Bitcoin, every Bitcoin will increase in value because there's a limited amount. As you can see, as you increase to 120,000, they're showing an estimate of about 2.5. But as you know, we can deviate. So we could run back up to 3 or even higher, up to 4, depending on how crazy things get. 140 showing 2.79, 160 showing 3, 180 showing 3.3. So imagine a deviation from a 3.3 estimated average. If things get very bullish again and they start talking about infinite money glitch again, imagine if it's supposed to be 3.3 and we do that 50% increase from, I mean, obviously this is an outlier, but we'll just do it for the sake of this example, 2.2 to 3.4. So roughly a 50% increase. So if we were to do a 50% increase on 3.3, that's almost a MNav of 5. It's about a 4.95. So that would be insane. And MicroStrategy's price, I know it says right here, you can see the estimated price showing 1140. That would be much higher. Hopefully that ends up happening. If you do see something like that, it's going to be another blow off top, just how we saw here. It'll hug the line until you get that blow off top, and then you're going to get those crazy outliers. We're also going to take a look here at MNav, different percentiles of the MNavs. When we get those blow off tops, we can push all the way to this purple line, which can vary in MNav, but it's slowly increasing because the more Bitcoin they purchase, the more the MNav should slowly increase. This one is it's a little outdated, not by much, but you can see it's January 31st. So let's see if we can ramp back up, and maybe instead of getting a 3.4 MNav, we're all the way up to a 4.5 or even higher. We broke above it, so let's see if we can break above it and get up to like a 5 MNav in the peak before we get that crash down. That'd be exciting to see. It's cool models to just look at and speculate on what could happen. But as you can see, we are getting down to the lower bands here. It seems like we end up touching the blue almost every time. I don't know if we actually ended up touching the blue. March 2nd, we hit 1.4. So yes, we actually did. So if this model were up to date, it would actually show this yellow line hitting the blue again, which would line up with all these other lines here, where we hit the blue once, shot up, hit the blue again, shot up, hit the blue again, shot up, and this is 1.59. And when you look here, this is March 2nd, we hit 1.41. So we spent a little bit of time there. We hit 147, February 25th. February 27th, we're at 148. So we actually hit this line and went a little underneath it. So now the MNav's at a 189, I believe. So we're already making our way back up. We spent some time at the blue band and we're already at the green band pretty much. So that's exciting to see. Let's see if we can continue on up and make it to this purple band and get a blow off top later on this year. And here's another MNav Explorer. So pretty much it shows you Bitcoin's price on the left hand side, and it shows you the MNav multiple up top. I mean, these are crazy numbers, so I wouldn't really even look past here. 5 I think is already crazy enough, but I mean, you can look past here, but I think that's too optimistic if I'm being honest. 4 to 5 I would say, maybe in this cycle if we're lucky. 4 to 4.5 would be anywhere between 4 and 5. I think is reasonable for a blow off top, and we're pushing 180,000 or something like that. But you can see the price of MicroStrategy, and then the price of Bitcoin, and then the MNav running this way. So if we were to hit 150,000 and the MNav's at 3, you're at 863. If the MNav's at 2, you're at 575. If you're at a 4, 1150, and if you're at a 5, 1438. So you can see the MNav really makes a huge difference. I mean, it's $300 difference per multiple of MNav for these first 4, and then it gets even crazier as you continue on. Starts jumping even more because it's a multiple. So yeah, these are just some interesting metrics to look at. Still bullish, remain bullish on MicroStrategy because I'm bullish on Bitcoin. As long as I remain bullish on Bitcoin, I'll always be bullish on MicroStrategy. Not to say that there won't be a massive crash coming, possibly in 2026 after we get a peak potentially this year if everything plays out, but long term, 5, 10, 15 years, you should be able to make a lot of money on MicroStrategy because I think Bitcoin will be much higher in that same time period that I just said. See you in the next one.